what ways does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products?
Throughout this whole process, we researched into great detail about horror trailers and the conventions of them, as they follow the conventions of the battle between good versus evil. As you can see here in this picture from the Strangers poster, there is a clear distinction between the good people being the seated couple who are tied up, and the evil being the three individuals in masks. An example of this approach was demonstrated by us having Emily as an innocent and pure female, and the stalker as a scheming, devious, and unstable human being.
The convention we used was dramatic camera angles, exaggerating characters.
This was demonstrated in the scene when Emily had fallen over the log and the stalker is approaching her. This was a dramatic camera angle due to the camera being at a low position and out of focus, which then represented the power of the stalker.
The convention of isolated locations was also used in our trailer, as 3/4 of our trailer was filmed in the woods. This was clearly represented as an isolated location due to there rarely ever being any sign of life.
We found music indicating dramatic events to be extremely important in horror trailers. Therefore, we used dramatic music throughout our whole trailer to exaggerate the frightful moments coming up and to cause suspense. Here is an example from our trailer. We used this because we wanted our audience to wonder what will happen next.
However, there are certain conventions we did not use within our trailer. A huge percentage of horror trailers involve some kind of blood. However, we strictly stayed away from this as we did not have the professional equipment or makeup available to us to create a realistic, gory horror trailer.
From our research, we learned that the final girl theory was popularly used across a range of horror trailers. We found this proved to be effective because it creates a more of an isolated and vulnerable feel to trailers.
Help! This theory was used in our trailer as the final girl is Emily. This adds more tension to the film as it shows a battle between the two, the stalker and Emily. Also, the theory can represent the final girl gaining power, and this then creates the illusion for the audience that maybe this one time our trailer will break the typical horror convention and Emily will win the battle against the stalker. As even though Emily is the only girl in the trailer, she's the only girl there to confront the stalker. This was also demonstrated in The Nightmare of Elm Street, as the main character was a girl, and she was the final girl as she was the one who won the battle against the evil.
Another convention we used was high-pitched screaming, as we found this was used in the majority of horrors. We learnt that the high-pitched screaming can represent the illusion that although there is screaming, no one is there to hear, which adds to the convention of isolated location. We wanted to use this convention because it creates a chaotic tension as the audience are able to feel Emily's fear. However, there are certain popular conventions used in horror trailers that we did not use. For example, the use of protagonist victims who end up surviving at the end.
Going back to The Nightmare on Elm Street, although the main character did follow the conventions of being the final girl, she also survived, which we didn't want to use in our trailer as we believe it given too much of the storyline away, leading to the audience feeling that there is no need to watch the film because they already know the outcome of the story.
Another convention we surprisingly did not use was the appearance of an authority figure. As you can see here, this is a picture of the police officer from Final Destination 2. Although this convention is used in the majority of horror films, we decided to take a huge risk of challenging this convention because we wanted to be different and make our trailer stand out.
Due to our AS coursework, we already knew a lot about magazine cover conventions. However, we also learned a lot of new conventions when specifically looking at horror film magazine covers and horror posters. A typical magazine convention we used was the colour palette. Sticking to the range of colours, red, white and black, we also carried out this convention in our poster for the same reasons. These colours tied into the horror magazine and poster conventions as each one of those signified something. Red being danger, white being ghostly spooky effects, black being mystery and death. This was also demonstrated in the horror film My Bloody Valentine. As you can see here, the red bloody font was used throughout the trailer and the poster to signify danger and blood.
Another convention of magazine covers and posters we used was thick, bold, uppercase text. This catches the reader's eye and enables the person to remember the name of the products. One convention we didn't use on the magazine cover was extra promotion pictures because we thought it would take away the attention of the main focus of our production, Anonymous.